Welcome to the first episode of Weaving Sacred Stories. I am your host, Shahaley, aka Water Woman. I want to take this time to just acknowledge the arrival of the space that I'm creating and to recognize that I have really made it to this point. And what unfolds next is the process and the journey, and that I'm allowing the space, the spaciousness for the podcast to unfold and become and evolve. And for now, we will be just an audio podcast. And until I'm in a space to move to video, that's how it will be. For my first episode, I'm really just going to be introducing the pod to y'all and sitting with you guys in this space and cultivating the mission, the voice of my podcast and what it is that I am working towards, what my goals are, and how I really want this to be a sacred, safe environment every week. I haven't decided a posting schedule yet. I don't even know if I'm going to be making one. But this is me starting. This is me doing. This is me moving, regardless of external forces and what's happening in my 3D reality. I've decided that if I feel the call within, there's a reason. And so here I am showing up. And I do have plenty to talk about. And it should sustain many episodes to come. My goal is to invite people on ultimately to share their stories, because I feel the medicine that's held in storytelling. Sorry if you hear my cat purring. She's on my lap right now. Actually, no apologies. I take that back. I'm not sorry. The goal is to create a space where people feel comfortable to share their stories. And for me personally, I've always been very curious, and I've always loved listening to people tell their stories, because I find people's life stories and their experiences so rich and fascinating, and I find the human being and the human being's journey extremely just beautiful. And so this really is a space where we dive into our experiences, and we allow that storytelling medicine to come forth and to grace us. And I've been really lucky where I have a very wide range of relationships. I'm friends with a lot of people from different backgrounds, races, ages, and I just feel like I was kind of put in this position to showcase how sacred it is to be able to witness a wide variety of human experiences. So because I am so curious and I love to listen and I love storytelling, I think it's super medicinal for us to be able to recognize the stories we tell ourselves, how we can heal through the power of storytelling. Those who know me and know my work know that I am an astrologist, and with astrology comes storytelling, the archetypes, gods and goddesses, the ancient world, and how humans have been telling stories since the dawn of time to explain our reality. And so along with that, I am also a priestess, a druid, initiate of the Mary Magdalene and Sophia Christos Yeshua mysteries, the Rose mysteries, the Rose priestess, the Rose heart opening and sacred union devotee. And this goes back to my Irish roots and the ties that Ireland had with Mary Magdalene and the Mary Magdalene mysteries. So I am a Druid and a Sacred Union devotee and an astrologer and a mother and a friend and a sister, and I am many, many names, and I wear many, many faces, and I wear many hats. And so, yes, thank you. Welcome to the Weaving Sacred Stories podcast, and I really welcome anyone who decides to tune in to each episode. And I just want to set the intention and the prayer that going forward, this is really a space where we can play and explore and be free. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because it already is. It's always exactly how it's supposed to be in this moment. So I'm going to breathe. I'm going to breathe that in. I will be getting some equipment and some a microphone and some things to at least make the audio as crisp as I can. But you know what? I was just called by God and the divine and the feminine aspect to move, to start, to plant the seed and watch it grow. And because I am so familiar with cycles and bringing things to fruition over time, I trust the process, and I know that this one seed can become the most beautiful flower. And so for episode 1, to start off Weaving Sacred Stories, I will be introducing myself and I will be telling my story. This is the only episode that I want to really tell my story and have it be about me personally, because this really is an outlet for me to get curious about others, because that's where my heart's at, and I want to create the space for others to show up and to have a relational community space. So I do think it's important that I do share my story, just as an introductory and as an introduction to me and who I am. And then from there, we have more of an idea of who I am and what I do and why I'm here. And believe it or not, I've gotten pretty sick of talking about myself over the last couple of years. But it's super cathartic and it's healing to express ourselves and tell our stories from a deep place and a present place versus a wounded or a place of scarcity or being afraid of what people might think. So I am going to tell my story, even though I'm scared and sometimes I don't feel ready and all those things. But for episode 1, I will take up all the space and I will tell my story, and I hope that it heals. I hope that it touches people. I hope that it moves you. I hope that it heals. And you know, if you start listening to the pod and it's not your jam, I totally respect that. I honor your path, your journey. And yeah, I wish people nothing but love and luck. And so here we go. This is Weaving Sacred Stories with your podcast host, Shahaley, aka Waterwoman. And this is Waterwoman's story for episode 1.